الله أكبر الله أكبر.
The pen that is of accountability has been lifted from a person who's asleep until he wakes up.
So during the REM state, you experience the most vivid dreams.
You have no control over that dream. There's no accountability upon you.
So basically, there are hadiths which tell us that the Prophet, peace be upon him, said that dreams are of three kinds. One is due to your own subconscious mind. Two, there are divine inspirations that come by way of dreams. And three, there is the meddling of the Satan with your mind during the dream state. So if you see something horrible, that's from Satan. Don't tell anyone about it, and don't worry about it. It cannot harm you. If you see something good, praise and thank God for that, and you're allowed to tell somebody else about that one. Otherwise, the other dreams from your subconscious mind, it's just something that you've been thinking about during the day. It just appears in your dream now. Now, this helps a lot to make sense of the varied and many different dreams that we have. And in fact, looking more broadly, we see that many psychologists and neuropsychologists in modern times have been trying to think more clearly about what dreams are and how they affect us and why we dream, and so on. And there's no unified theory out there. You might find some experts saying it does one thing, and some experts say it does something else, and which part of the brain is affected when we dream, and so on. All of this is the subject of modern study. But then there's a lot of obscurity because we're dealing with the mind, which itself is hard to pin down. So basically, what we know about dreams from modern studies is that in an 8-hour length of sleep time, you go through some cycles of going into deeper and deeper sleep. And then maybe within a 2-hour cycle, you might have maybe 20 minutes of what is referred to as rapid eye movement state, REM. So during the REM state, you experience the most vivid dreams. But it could be that it's because you tend to wake up during this very phase that you remember the dream because you just had experienced it. You have other dreams at other times as well, in the lesser, like not so deep sleep, but you don't remember them that well. And some psychologists have said actually that in a dream you have some things that you're worried about, some things you desire, some things you fear, and so on.
So either you're asleep and you have no control over yourself. The Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, the pen that is of accountability has been lifted from a person who's asleep until he wakes up. So whatever you do while asleep, you're not accountable. You're fasting and you have nocturnal emission, and you wake up and you find that you had a wet dream. Does it nullify your fasting? No. There's no accountability upon you. You went to bed and slept and woke up after sunrise. You missed Fajr prayer. Am I sinful? No, because I was asleep. So either you are asleep and what you're seeing is a dream, and lucid or unlucid, you have no control over that dream. You have no control on what things or how things progress. Or you're not asleep, you're awake. And in this case, you are daydreaming, you are fantasizing. This is something within your control. So you say, okay, I'm riding a red Ferrari, and then I take the top off, and then I accelerate, and I drag race, and I do this. You're awake. He said, no, let's not have it red. I'd like to ride one that is white. You change it. So this is not dreaming, this is fantasizing. Maybe it's a form of hallucination, whatever. You have control over it, but you're not asleep, and Allah knows best.
So in short, I think we should come away from this thinking that dreams are very complicated and they're not things to worry about. But if you see some good thing in your dream, you can try to think about how to achieve that good. If you see something fearsome, try to think about how to avoid undesirable situations. But it all depends on us in the end, doing what we can and asking God for his help in the end, and not to worry too much about the dreams themselves.